Greetings and welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host, Jefficho. My co-host as always, Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello!
So, movie time. Star Trek Generations.
This has been such a long-running thing, and we're doing it a little slowly, but
And in reverse.
And in reverse, which is, I think, fun. There's so much Star Trek on right now that it's really easy to just jump in and do these on the off weeks, so I'm having a good time with them.
Yeah. Initial thoughts of Generations.
You know, I remember enjoying this movie more.
Me too.
I don't know what's changed, but I always thought this was a fun little comfortable movie.
I think it's the times around us have changed.
Okay.
And it is affecting the movie, and the canon that takes place after, and the canon that gets retconned affects this movie a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's also relies a little bit more on humor, and it wasn't really landing for me on my last viewing for whatever reason. Maybe just because I've seen it all way too many times. But
I don't think that's a factor because, like, I still watch really bad episodes of TNG. Not that there are any. And, like, I will actually break out and laugh at something Riker and Data say to each other that, like, as a kid, I would not have gotten that joke, and now I get the subtleties of the joke.
Mm-hmm.
We started out in a floating champagne bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it didn't breach the hull.
Yes, yeah. Shields aren't here till Tuesday,
Who
right?
threw that? It took a really long time.
They have excellent aim, though.
Yeah. You got Kirk, Scotty, Chekhov, and the Enterprise-B.
Mm-hmm.
Sulu's daughter.
At the helm.
Why doesn't Kirk know who
Yeah.
Sulu's daughter is?
Incredible. Congratulations, Ensign. It wouldn't be the Enterprise without a Sulu at the helm.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure Hikaru must be very proud of you.
I hope so.
Like, oh, hey, Enterprise spot. You're an ensign. Why don't you fly it?
Well, I think it's the same thing as in-universe as out-universe, where everyone's just kind of ignoring Shatner and everyone's just kind of ignoring Kirk.
Yeah.
They're moving on.
He doesn't know anything about George Takei's personal life, so he doesn't know anything about Sulu's personal life.
Yeah. What's his name? Harrington?
I believe it's Harrington.
Captain? This guy is green.
Yeah, well, beta canon, book canon, his dad's an admiral and he got the job.
Oh my god, nepotism in my Starfleet? But yeah, it's wild. I assume the Enterprise is still the flagship, and this guy feels like he's never been in command before. Like, you'd expect him to be a captain for 15, 20 years before they give you the flagship.
The fact that the D is also the flagship, and I would assume the C is too.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we never really cover it much.
No, that's an era I don't think that's been explored.
Would you like a series?
At this rate, I'm
we'd
gonna
be
get one.
recasting them, but,
I'm gonna
like,
get one. Yeah.
maybe we get Shooter McGavin back, I don't know.
Oh, please. Yes, please.
I mean, Tasha, what's she doing?
She's right there.
Yeah. So, distress signal,
Yep.
ships in the ribbon.
Yeah.
Why are there ships in the ribbon?
And the B is the only ship in the area,
Yeah.
right next to Earth.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to keep going to other series to be like, hey, you know, Earth once got invaded. Be like, oh, you almost lost this war with the Klingons. Just never keep any defenses there or any ships around.
Yeah, there's no ships. Absolutely no ships around the center of Earth.
I've seen the inside of that starbase. There were ships. There were several ships.
We're encountering severe gravimetric distortions from the energy ribbon, Captain.
Tractor beam.
We don't have a tractor beam.
You left space dock without a tractor beam.
It won't be installed until Tuesday.
They're not crewed properly.
No.
Even when there's like damage reports, he's asking Sulu to tell him, and I was like, she's flying the ship.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like they were
go get
afraid.
human Tuvok
Yeah.
to go to.
Yeah, it's not like they were afraid to give other people lines, because Tuvok got lines. And I saw Timorous and I clapped.
I was just like, how could he get on this ship too? He was on Sulu's ship, and then they
everywhere.
retcon him and give him ears later for that Voyager novel or Voyager episode. But
Yeah.
I was like, come on, Tuvok's everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course he is. Tuvok's fantastic.
In this one, Brian Thompson, who was Riker's bro on that Klingon episode where Riker took control of that Klingon ship and stuff. Yeah, he was in this. Fortunately, he's working for the Duras sisters. And I was
Yeah.
like, same character, but like Dude, that's a downgrade because you almost had command of that ship.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, obviously it's easy to tell the Duras sisters from the series, but it's cute that they brought back Riker's friend for that. Like, they bothered to go that far.
Yeah, I was finding I was paying a lot more attention to like the secondary and third tertiary characters in this, just to be like, who's there? Some people had some reoccurring things. Didn't see Barclay.
No, this would have been or O'Brien.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have been on the ship. He'd be on DS9.
Are we on DS? Oh yeah, DS9 has started. Yeah. Of course.
I mean, he's not Worf. He's not just in a visit.
Yes. Yeah. Hello, Captain. I was just in the neighborhood.
He's busy repairing the station he's working on daily.
He's got a lot of shit to do. All right, my bad.
You don't become the best engineer ever.
The greatest Starfleet.
Yeah, they go to rescue them. One ship explodes.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, how do we do it? And then, Scotty just beams off half of them.
Yeah. Kirk has to take control because the captain.
About venting plasma from the warp nacelles that might disrupt the ribbon's hold on the ships.
Aye, sir.
It's not having any effect, sir. I think the
Sir,
ribbon's
the
hold.
starboard vessel's hull is collapsing.
Captain's useless.
Yeah, I love it when the captain's like, what if we vent some plasma? And he looks at Kirk and Kirk is like slowly just like, you're a fucking idiot. that shit ain't gonna work, you rookie.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. I want to see the news broadcast. Just be like, Kirk tells him he's
idiot.
In charge because of admirals. Yeah, I like that. He's like, okay, I'll go fix it, and you have command. And he's just like holding the chair, and he's like, no, take my time to tell you all this, but it's your chair, it's your bridge. I'll go.
And that's sort of that was actually sort of a setup for the choice Kirk ends up having to make in the Nexus, just a very little bit. Like he has to think about and let go of this thing that he really wants, which is command of a starship. For the greater
and
good.
of an Excelsior class. I just don't like the neck. It's like, to me, it's like those accordion buses.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it's kind of lame.
They're in service for a very long time, though, Jeff. It was a good design.
There's a lot of ships, like the Miranda class, that should probably not have been in service that long.
You don't just mothball this shit, all right? It's useful. It can do stuff.
You do if it's a Klingon D12.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, out of service because of bad plasma coils. We're not going to replace those. We'll just scrap the ship design. If you fly one, it's at your own risk.
Yeah.
Those were recalled, damn it.
If we crash into the back of it, it might explode, yeah.
That's like, do you think, like, they should have, like, obviously, yeah, Kirk dies, Scotty and Chekhov are down there, so it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
We jump 78 years later.
Yep.
We go to the Navy Enterprise ship, we got Worf's whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think they should have retrofitted the Enterprise for the movies? Because they did for the original.
Maybe. I
It
think
looked cooler because everybody's complaint about this is like, it just felt like an episode.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they should have bothered knowing they were going to end up destroying it, but if they weren't going to do that, then yeah, I think that it would have been neat to see an Enterprise-D refit instead of an E.
Wouldn't that have kind of like up the stakes though? Be like, hey, yeah, we just refitted this and then we destroyed it. Because you can't have an Enterprise without destroying it, let's be honest.
Yeah. The ships are cursed.
Yeah. Especially in the JJ ones.
Mm-hmm. And I really, I feel like the scene has gotten memed on so many times just in Star Trek canon, but them all just exiting the holodeck, still in full, like, naval regalia and going about their business. Like, it's just... That's one of those, like, not iconic, but you see that reference so much in the fandom, just the bridge officers just standing around in their Ren Fair gear or whatever the shit it was they were doing.
We see this stuff on lower decks too. Like,
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I like that Riker did his whole investigation on the station and he comes back and Picard's still in his like thing. It's like, you know, I want to get out of that. So Picard gets bad news. Worf gets promoted to lieutenant commander, falls in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Data learns a little bit about humor, which was funny.
I maintain that what Data did was straight up funny.
Yeah.
I don't understand why everyone's giving him shit for it. It's the holodeck.
Yeah.
Like, get over yourself, Beverly. If that wasn't funny,
talk to him for 2 days.
yeah, if that wasn't funny, then what you guys did to Worf was also definitely not funny.
Yeah.
Learn to be spontaneous. Live in the moment.
Do something unexpected. Get it?
Got it.
I need an emotion chip too, apparently. They clearly needed some kind of inciting incident for, Data to be like, it's been however many years and I can't understand emotions at all. And like, sure, yeah, let's give him a reason to stick the emotion chip in. And we'll start having some jokes, and Data will do not Data things.
That big. This thing fit under Lore's fingernail.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so big now?
A little bit of a change. It's got to be bigger for the movies.
Maybe it got dashed and just like, we need to add on some technology here and make it ginormous because we're dumb scientists.
Yeah. What the hell was I saying? Yeah. So they needed some kind of inciting incident, but this just wasn't it. I have never believed that everyone thought that was a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, I would think there'd be somebody that would have been laughing for sure. Riker's just like, I don't get to see, bad food and no women. I was like, there's two right there, and one of them's already wet.
Good fault. Wouldn't have actually been women back then.
Yeah, they didn't exist back then, Chris. Jesus.
Ay, Christ.
I need to go watch the new Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. That's gonna have an all-women ship.
Moving on.
Dressing on the station.
Mm-hmm.
Meet Soren.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool. He hasn't changed his look in 78 years.
No. He's got better things to do.
Why doesn't
He's got one outfit.
Why doesn't he look younger? He could choose that, Chris.
He can just choose to. Yeah, he can choose not to age. He can't choose to randomly look.
Why do you choose to look so old?
I don't know, man. He's just aging. He's just been aging.
I thought I was like, I'm being nitpicky watching this, and it's like he's like, I'm an El-Aurian, and then Guinan's like, we're El-Aurians. I'm just like, that was with an E and that was with an I. Why are you not on the same page here?
I am not nitpicking to that degree. You have picked many more of a nit than I.
I still find it funny that they had to borrow DS9 uniforms.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the most uniforms we've seen in a single episode, for sure. Definitely movie, maybe not episode with like Lower Decks and shit. But there's the original series movie uniforms, there's the TNG uniforms, and there's the DS9 uniforms. And they're all just mixed in there.
I wasn't a Go Enterprise season finale.
Maybe there was
dress uniform.
Yeah, would there have been an Enterprise dress uniform as well?
Yeah,
because they're at the...
It was a lower key one, but Archer had a dress uniform.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Okay, I'm
Disputed.
Wrong. Absolutely embarrassed. This is embarrassing.
I hate to be you right now. You can go home in shame. So Sauron gets rescued. Romulans attacked it because they wanted their trilithium.
Trilithium?
Perhaps we are tired of waiting.
Without my research, the trilithium is worthless.
Picard's still like sad but angry.
Yeah.
It's very short with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Or can there anything else I can do for you? Sure, fuck off.
Yeah. How about fuck off? Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Call Starfleet. You want me to call Starfleet? This is why you don't have your own ship. Second guessing everything I tell you to do. Picard's actually just been like, dismantling his career the whole time.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, I never really picked up on the time is the fire in which we burn line being delivered before we, the audience, learned that there was a fire in which Picard's family burned.
Yeah, that makes me think it's confirmed that Soren killed his family.
Like, is that what they're going for? Because he is hitting all of Picard's deepest insecurities. Is it supposed to just be randomly?
He's looking at a captain who's old.
Yeah.
And so he's saying all that stuff.
No, but specifically when they first meet, he's like, time is the fire in which we burn, Captain. It's like, there's so many things in life we leave undone, and that's exactly what he's ends up talking to Troy about.
Yeah, but he's also trying to get back to the station to his experiment.
Yeah, I understand.
And his only way is to try and manipulate Picard.
Yeah,
and the only thing to manipulate him with is age. Be like, hey, there's a lot of things unfinished in our lives that we can't get to.
But why does he know? Are we just supposed to believe this is a coincidence?
Well, you know, when he talks,
guess we
when
are.
he talks later, and it's just like, oh, like the Nexus, we can stop time and this and that. Like, I'm like, you're an El-Aurian, like you don't even age really, so like,
He does
you're
age.
almost immortal.
He'll die eventually.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. He still wants to go in the Nexus.
You can choose never to look old.
He's chasing the dragon.
They say time is the fire in which we burn.
Nice little talk, and you know, he somehow gets onto the station. I don't think anybody knew he was going there.
That's true. I don't. No, because Picard said, allowed him to go down there. That was
He
the
said,
thing.
"I'll see what I can do."
Yeah. So presumably he did a thing.
Yeah. Well, you
Thing done.
You would think they'd communicate that to Data and Geordi.
I guess.
I
But
guess-
well, no, because they were in there when the comms were down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soren beats him up and beams away with Geordi.
Yeah. Pretty much. So Data's freaking out because of his emotional chip. The tricorder.
Mr. Tricorder. Yeah. And Data's being way too much. Geordi's like, just get it together.
Just a back fist takes Geordi out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wasn't very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
He calls the Duras sisters of all people.
Yeah.
And gets beamed over with Geordi, and then he starts experimenting on Geordi's visor. He makes fun of Geordi.
Bullying him?
Yeah.
Bullying
He's
him.
just like, wouldn't you want to look normal?
You fucking weirdo.
Yeah. And
God.
and that affects him later on, doesn't it?
I think it does. Like, I actually hate this scene now because there's nothing wrong with Geordi, and he's like, Geordi's great, and that's the point of his character. Is there's nothing wrong with him. But then Soren's bullying him about his eyes. Now his eyes look all weird, nerd.
Yeah.
And then later in the movies, he just goes and gets exactly those implants that Soren was talking about. I don't like that.
Yeah,
It makes me sad.
It sat in the back of his mind.
Yeah.
You know, just
Needling him. Geordi, you don't need to do that. You don't need to listen to him.
decades wearing that. Gave him headaches, man.
I'm sure it was great for the actor, though. I think the actor
I'm pretty sure he
didn't want to be under that.
headaches from having it fucking glued to your head.
Yeah. Or just trying to act with all this shit on your face.
Yeah, of all the people that have the inconvenience though, he just had to put something on.
Oh, yeah. It's not like sitting for 4 hours in makeup every day,
Yeah.
but it's just like I view life through a hair clip.
That's why I'm just like, don't complain, Bajorans. All you gotta do is a nose thing.
Yeah. Or Shimmerman doing cork every day.
Shimmerman, Odo, like you name it.
Yeah.
Like, Morn.
It will pass through this sector in approximately 42 hours.
Yes. Guinan was right. She said that Sodom was trying to get back to the ribbon. Now, if that's true, there has to be some connection with the Amagosa star.
See stellar cartography?
Mm-hmm.
They spent so much money on that set. I think it was like 100,000 or something.
Really? It's barely used.
It's barely used.
Yeah.
Well, they had to add something new for the movie, right?
Or did they end up using the same set for anything else? Because that's not what stellar cartography looked like on Voyager.
Honestly, it was just a big green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically the chair, the ramp, and the green screen.
Yeah.
So, not the small little stellar cartography we had in Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
It's just constantly being drama here.
Data is so extra in this movie.
He's just like, every 5 seconds, he's, can you look that up?
I cannot. I
Just
cannot.
can't do this. Deactivate me.
Yeah. You mean can't?
Yeah. And he's like, it's an order, do it. And then it's just like he gives the fatherly advice that we know, that we expect. Because unlike the Picard series, Chris.
It's nice to see good Picard.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, this isn't like peak Picard, but it's pretty good Picard.
There's the reason there's what would Picard do, because he always did the right thing.
I should get a nice What Would Picard Do bracelet.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are going to be like, well, I don't get that. I watched the series. Why would you want to do any of those decisions? They're terrible decisions.
It's a terrible choice.
I'm just going to give up on life and sit on my vineyard. This is why I don't like the new stuff, because it's making me analyze this stuff and making fun of my shows that I do like.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad day or something. But this movie was not hitting for me the same way it's done before.
Yeah. Agreed. So Sauron's blowing up stars so that he can move the course of the ribbon to a planet because he refuses to just get an EV suit and go out into the ribbon.
I guess it's a risk that the ribbon will blow up the ship you're on before you can get to the Nexus, but why isn't it blowing you
Beam him in the
up?
path. Beam him on the EV suit in the path of the ribbon.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, do they not know? Like, obviously, everybody that was on that ship that exploded went right back into the Nexus because Kirk went into Nexus.
Yeah.
So explosions don't ruin your chance getting in.
Maybe.
The energy ribbon that destroyed that ship was not just some random phenomena traveling through the universe. It's a doorway to another place that we call the Nexus.
Brandon's all like, if you go in, you won't want to come out. And I'm just like, that's bullshit, because I know, like, after, like, 2 minutes, he's just like,
yeah, like,
well, this place is cool, I know.
It was super cool, but, like, Guinan's presenting it as this, like, super blissed out, chasing the dragon, like, drug trip, and you're gonna be stoned out of your mind and blissed out of your mind and have, like, you just won't be able to leave. And the experience we get for both Picard and Kirk is just, this is the best holodeck program. Like, it wasn't messing with their emotions or their perceptions or anything.
Oh, it would have been so funny if he was just Dixon Hill.
Oh, yeah, his Nexus was just Dixon Hill. That would be so sick. The Nexus would just be like, you're a fucking nerd.
Just be like, this must be the Nexus. And then just be like, Dix, be like, what is a doll?
It's all he's ever wanted, man.
Yeah.
It's all he's ever wanted. God, that would be hilarious.
Damn duty, damn uniform. All I want to do is live on a holodeck.
If we ever do the Nexus in Lower Decks, we'll probably see something like that. Like Boimler's Nexus will just be when they got rid of buffer time and he was being super efficient.
Their shields are operating on a modulation of 257.4.
Adjust our torpedo frequency to match 257.4.
The Enterprise faces off against the Klingon ship after Geordi once again has this fighter messed with. Last time I think it was Romulans.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's you stole that from episode. Why are we doing it again?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. My solar glasses.
He just looks on one of the screens. They got the shield modulation. I was like,
just chilling there.
Just security. Like you have tours for engineering all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Lock that shit up. Screensaver it.
Yeah.
And then they get shot at, goes right through the shield. It's like, oh, it went right through our shields. The next one went right through our shields. Be like,
everyone just accepts it. They're like, oh, well, shit, can't do anything about that.
Yeah. And then it's just like, return phaser fire. Psh, slowly turns, goes away. You literally just said they're no match for a Galaxy class. Now, okay, you're gonna take some damage, but if you fired all your fucking weapons at it...
Yeah, I feel like even within that setup, it was kind of dumb. Like, yeah, the bird got some shots off. Really, the Enterprise should try rotating their shields, like, immediately.
Yeah.
But even if they don't, if they just unload everything, I think they should be able to wipe it out.
Well, they eventually used the recall on the D-12s to make it cloak.
To warp! Prepare a spread of photon torpedoes. We have to hit them the instant they begin to cloak. I shall...
Fire.
Doesn't fire the spread of torpedoes.
Yeah, he was specifically ordered to fire a full spread of torpedoes. I don't think that's one torpedo.
Yeah, and it was aft.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, this looks cool, and it's like dramatic. We'll just do the one. Like, no, blow the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah, no, Riker gave the correct order. It's like, we're not taking any risks with this.
Yeah.
Just end it.
Every time they fired a spread in the series, I was just like, they never do that. That's awesome. Like, Then the ship crashes because Deanna's at the helm.
That is okay. Honestly, that's the joke. But like, she didn't do anything wrong this episode. She was just sitting there, and it wasn't her fault.
Well, I'm sorry, but Geordi himself, LeVar Burton, said it. So
He did. I know he did.
He used to have that position. He would know.
Oh, I guess he would know. Yeah. He'd just be like, no, you booped when you should have bopped, and yeah,
exactly. It's like when Data's scanning for life forms and he manages to pull off the song. It's like, you must be hitting all the wrong controls.
One of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that scene.
It's cute. Data gets pretty cute throughout this. It's
yeah,
like,
the film.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the film is Data doing not Data things.
Yeah. Which kills Data in the show.
Kills Data.
They're venting plasma, but they're not going to inject the warp core, which is done all the time. So
well, they just quickly. Geordi was like, I can't do anything about it.
Quick, there's there's so many families on the ship, but let's just evacuate.
Yeah.
This could take forever. And then, the explosion, the sausage section just goes and it crashes on the planet. Quite the crash. I kind of laughed because it's just like, crash, everybody falls, get up, brace yourselves, everybody falls, gets up, brace again.
Maybe just, it would be pretty violent. It would be a pretty violent crash.
Nexus fires off, destroys it, but we get to see that twice. Picard's beamed down because of prisoner exchange for Geordi. He's like, but I want to talk to Thorin first. And then Thorin's just like, you're getting old again, buddy. Time. Yeah, it's a predator. Stalks us all. It's a gap in the shield. He gets under there. He fights him on the bridge. He's not a very good fighter. And the ribbon takes us. We go in there and we finally see Christmas. Yeah, Picard's got 3 kids, so he fucks.
He fucks, Well, I don't think the wife was anyone in particular, which I feel like was kind of a missed opportunity, but whatever.
I feel it was a major missed opportunity. Like, she's just like an old-fashioned English lady. And I'm just like,
this is actually... I never knew what to make of this, because Picard is like... His fantasy is like a super traditional family.
Cup of Earl Grey.
That would be perfect.
And this, just the look of this Christmas and like how like elaborate all the women's dresses are. This doesn't really present me with like the super egalitarian, enlightened future that we're all coming from.
Yeah, like I don't think any of his kids are going to Starfleet. I look at them and I was like, Papa!
Yes, Papa! It's like, I just, like, he wants to live... He wants to be Scrooge in the fucking Christmas novel. Like, I think that's his fantasy. And that, I guess it's unfair. It's really unfair to saddle Picard with, like, my perception of this based on that. But it's not really quite the image I would have expected for Picard's ideal life and Picard's ideal partner. Like, I would, based on what we've seen... it doesn't seem like his ideal partner is like super domestic and just staying home and raising the kids and making them dinner.
Why couldn't we get Vosh back?
Yeah, they had a great time. I don't think that's her vibe.
Even just to like play like a little part there, it would have been funny.
Yeah.
He looks out the window. We get some snow. Looks at an ornament at one point, and that's like a shiny star. And then he's like, "Gotta leave."
Yeah, Guinan's twirling around on a merry-go-round that's just chilling in my living room for some reason.
Hey, I mean, if you can get anything you want.
Yeah, you just might as well.
Yeah, I like that this is Guinan during her Nexus time, but she still knows who Picard is.
Yeah, she didn't forget this time.
He's just like, oh yeah, like you can get help. There's somebody else. And it's like, why didn't you just go back to 10 forward and arrest Soren?
Okay, so yes. My headcanon for this is yes, you can get out of the Nexus whenever you want. But when you get out, it still has to be like near the Nexus, near the ribbon. So he could have gotten out at that time, but he wasn't going to be where he needed to be physically. I still think that's dumb, because they probably could have just gotten out like maybe a month or 2, like whenever they were last near a planet, and just been like, boop, Picard to Enterprise, got a funny story to tell you.
It's just like when you have the ability for time travel and you go back to the main area of like your finale, and it's just like, you do that because it's the end of the show and you want to keep the tension going and stuff, but like, you could have just gone to the port, be like, arrest him.
I'll explain later.
Yeah, shields up, find the D12, fuck them up.
Boom. That's for things you haven't done yet.
Your Earl Grey tea was terrible on the Klingon homeworld. Goodbye, Los Albedo.
Yes.
I hope for your sake you are initiating a mating ritual.
So looks at record like, they were trying to sleep with me once. So he goes to the cabin, finds Kirk chopping wood.
Yep.
it's just like so cool to have them both together.
It is really cool, and I appreciate how Picard was a little awed by him for a little bit, and Kirk gave him a bit of dressing down, saying like, "I've been saving the galaxy since your grandfather was in diapers," and all that. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, he's trying to pull the duty thing. It's just like, well, it's retired like 3 times.
I am trying to retire.
Yeah. Now he's getting to live his fantasy of his old house that he had sold.
Sold?
Yeah.
But that's a weird word.
It is.
What are we selling it for?
Exactly. He burnt his eggs, that toaster, I questioned the toaster, Chris.
This is the Nexus. He knew he needed something, and then the toast manifested. I think that makes perfect sense.
All right, I'll accept if you think you need something, it manifests. Yeah. Only for the later scene.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, well, this is the day that I left Antonia and said I was going back to Starfleet, but I can change that. And he goes to the bedroom, and then like a few seconds later, Picard's just like, well, I'm going to go into the bedroom too.
God damn it.
This is not your bedroom.
No, it's not.
It's better. Better.
This is my uncle's barn in Idaho.
Rides off, and he's like, oh, I'm going to go meet her.
It's a good thing Picard is a serious rider.
Yeah, well, he had to manifest his saddle.
His own saddle.
His own.
Yeah.
Experienced riders do that, Chris. Kirk's like, oh, I'm gonna jump over this jump that I always do, and it's just like, oh, I didn't feel that fear. So you can have anything you want in the Nexus, but if you don't have that little bit of fear, let's just leave.
He needs his fear, and he needs his pain. Okay?
That sounds like it's from an amazing movie. Probably the best ever. I like that you quoted that. Yeah, we'll have to get to that one.
Okay, there are fights coming up, and that's going to be glorious. This is going to that is honestly going to be our angriest review.
Oh,
this will devolve into punches.
There will be swears. There will be arguments.
We are drawing a line down the middle of this table just so it doesn't come to blows. It'll be great.
Yeah, no, this Guidon's all like, oh, like you're not gonna want to leave, but shit, I don't feel the fear that I always got jumping the same. Maybe it's because you jumped so many times.
Yeah.
And you get whatever you want here, so why would you want to feel fear? Most people don't. But if he really wanted to feel fear, he should have been able to, Chris.
Yeah.
So it was missing and that bothered him, so couldn't have been there the second time when he jumped back over it? I don't know. The hell?
Like, whoa! Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah. I almost went back with you, Picard.
Oh, but then it was like, whoa! I kind of got the willies there, and I was like, yeah, I'm staying.
Antonia.
She isn't real either, is she? Nothing here is. Nothing here matters.
I mean, it's not a big scene, but I still will quote Antonia all the time. I was just like, oh, Antonia.
And that also isn't anyone in particular, is it?
I'm sure if we went through his database, it would be mentioned, but yeah, no, it's no Carol Marcus.
Yeah. Like, why isn't this Marcus? Why isn't this Vash? Give me some continuity. If you can bring back Riker's random Klingon friend. Give me something
bros,
to work with.
Man.
Yeah.
Love Brian Thompson.
Yeah, so when we decide to leave the Nexus, apparently all you gotta do is just kind of turn around and trot out.
Yeah.
I guess the Nexus, you have to manifest whatever you want. You can just manifest leaving.
Yeah, well, I mean, they meet Soren on the bridge.
Just who the hell are you?
He's James T. Kirk.
2-on-1, they still don't win. And the music's all tense, and they're just like, let's split up, but they don't split up, and then they
This is like 20 minutes of old man fight.
Yeah, but I'm just like, why is the music so tense? Because you know what? If they fail, they can just do this again.
They actually can. Yeah, the worst case scenario is you get a do-over.
Yeah. Oh shit, we're back in the Nexus again.
Back in the Nexus again.
Let's go different strategy.
Okay, hold on a sec. We're gonna use the Nexus to like manifest this scenario, and we're gonna practice.
Yeah.
All right, Nexus. Okay.
All right. Now that we know he can cloak his missile, which if I'm Soren, like unless he's expecting people to go to the planet when he's not there, like putting a cloak on there is very paranoid.
It's a bit much, but I guess this, he only gets one shot at this? Or he's had a long time to plan. He's just thrown everything at it.
Everybody kept saying 80 years, but it was 78. I read the subtitles. Kirk has to jump across the bridge that's already been blown up by Soren and his cute little weapon, and decloaks it, and the bridge just taped to the bridge. Kirk just spins out of control.
You see starfishing like down the mountain.
Then Picard goes and he's playing with it, and he's like, get away from there, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to run really quickly. Yeah, oh shit, got me.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just try again.
You realize we can do this as many times as you want.
Yeah.
You never even said that at some point. Like, Soren should have been like, you can thank me later, for you'll be in the Nexus too. Goes to visit Kirk, who's dying. Still enough life left in him to say a few words.
Yep.
It was fun. I love the realization that comes over his face when he's just like, oh my. Like, that was cool.
I do think, so they probably had to kill Kirk off at the end here. You can't really have Kirk running around in this era of Star Trek. It would just be weird. But his death was kind of lame. Like, he fell off a bridge to fighting some random guy.
Yeah, he died twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
his first death was a lot less lame.
I remember watching some award show with Malcolm McDowell, and he's just like, I killed Kirk.
Yeah, he did. That's pretty good.
I killed your captain.
What does it feel like to kill an American icon? Well, Bill, I think half of the world is going to mourn the loss. The other half are going to jump for joy.
Yeah, Picard goes back to the ship, what's left of it, and gets his photo album. Data finds Spot.
Tossing aside his other priceless, singular, unique artifacts.
Did he get his flute? Like, the director go and grab his trombone? Like, is this shit all replaceable? It's not their fault because this movie came after, but there's Soren says like, hey, you've got more time behind you than you do ahead, and then it's just like, I think of Insurrection. I'm like, no, you could have stayed and had more time ahead.
Yeah, and he still can.
Yeah.
He has an open invitation.
I mean, he's a fucking android now, too.
Oh, yeah. No, he actually can't. That wouldn't do shit for him now.
Yeah.
Because he's an android that they just programmed a death into.
After all, number one, we're only mortal.
Speak for yourself, sir. I plan to live forever.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I remember liking this movie more.
It was just Next Generation movies didn't hit because they didn't have the flap.
Maybe.
Uniform flaps, epic. Once they added that in 2, it stayed. All the movies.
Yeah, they knew they had a winner.
All the movies after that were pretty decent.
They knew they had a winner, yeah. All the Data emotional scenes are kind of just boring me in the last one. I'll end up watching it again. I'll end up giving it another shot again one day. And hopefully that time's a little better for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you watched it at home by yourself. Maybe that was it. When we watched it together, we could have cracked jokes about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Mr. Tricorder.
I don't know what else I could say about this movie.
This movie has been picked apart by a lot of people for many years. And I always felt sort of undeservedly. The movies are just never good enough for the Star Trek fan base. It's either this isn't anything like the show, or just this is just a 2-hour episode of Star Trek.
That's why I think they should have refit. Like, if they refitted the Enterprise, it would have given it a different look. I mean, they were already trying to go for a different look by not lighting any room.
Yeah, and when they did, it was super yellow.
Yeah, well, it was the sun. It was like, what? Made no sense. And then, of course, they couldn't decide on uniforms because they didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah. Everyone just picked something up.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some things they could have done to make this a little bit better. Also, like you said, Kirk gets killed by this random dude. The Enterprise gets taken down by a random bird of prey, the ship that I followed for 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And it's like,
not a terribly dignified end for either of those greats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We picked it up with the Borg.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
Yeah.
Went in the right direction. Well, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time.